What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Chrissy Chaos podcast, hashtag CCP. And we are having fun. We got a fun one today. Last week, we had TT Jerry. So I told you the future's female. So I said 2022, I'm kicking it off. Pimp just dropped his vape pen, which is also, which he said, which is, it's a dildo, but it's a vape pen.
I'm looking at a toilet. Sorry.
Yeah. Pimp's
Where's
looking at a toilet.
Oh, on the screen.
On the screen. So these girls. So without further ado, we had the beautiful queen lady TT Jerry on last week. Now we have our two queens on. Ashley and Rayna, the girls gotta eat, folks. The GGE girls gotta eat. You said I couldn't do it, and I fucking did it.
We made it to Staten Island.
We made it to Staten Island. You came to Staten Island because you said, I want to see what this Staten Island hype is about. I want to see Pete's dick.
We came for Kim.
Yes.
We've been driving around looking for Kim. Ashley drove. Also, who told you couldn't do it? Like, what did they say you couldn't do?
Just people were hating. They said, I bet you can't get the girls gotta eat.
To come to New Jersey.
To come to, yeah. Well, they.
You know we're in New York.
We're in New York. Staten Island.
Right. I didn't need to tell you that all day.
You're right.
Yes.
I was thinking Short Hills. It's whatever.
No, Short Hills Mall is not far from here.
Yeah. We crossed a bridge.
You crossed the Verrazano Bridge.
I have said New Jersey a lot.
All day. I've been meaning to mention this to you. I'm sorry.
You got banged out for a $17 toll, by the way.
Ooh.
Yeah.
My dad pays the easy pass.
Shut up.
It's not because I'm like, my parents pay for me, but like it just happens to still go to their house.
Yeah.
It was my car that my dad took it back, and who knows who owns it now.
Right.
He just got it through inspection. But anyway, he basically over Christmas, he was like, hey, I need $500. I was like, for what?
What?
He was like, because the inspection, then your easy pass. And I was like,
oh.
And dads, I'm like, how am I going to get it to you? He was like, I have a PayPal. I was like, damn.
Dude.
I was going to be like, I don't have my checkbook, but he was like, I have PayPal.
Well, because I get that. I have, two little girls, and I get that, like, I'm saying now that, like, I wouldn't make them pay for the Easy Pass, but I definitely would. Because here's the thing.
I make more money than him.
Well, no, you do. Fuck you, Dad.
I was waiting for this to come up. I didn't want to poor shame your dad, but I knew you would.
My dad's retired and we're really successful.
Your dad's like, I need the $500 for the fucking monoclonal antibodies.
My dad has a cell phone tower on his land. He's good.
He's a plane.
Wow.
There's a plane there and two houses.
Your dad has a cell phone tower on his
You
land?
don't make as much money as you think.
But they have to pay you for that,
You get
right?
like $1,000 a month, $1,500
It's
a month.
$1,500. Your dad and I
Honestly,
talked about
that's not bad.
For just to do nothing?
Yes.
Yeah, just to hang out.
That's a stimmy check right there. There it is.
My dad did the most dad thing the other day. He wanted to send somebody an Amazon gift card. He went to the store and got it and physically mailed it to them.
That's so cute.
I was like, you could do that on the internet. And he was like, I would never.
Yeah, you know what? I do stupid shit too. Like, I'll mail my daughter a card to the house where I could just give it in her room, but I'll just mail it. And then oh, you got mail. And she'll be like, don't you live next door? I'm like, well, actually I live in the basement. Me and your mother are having problems, but.
Who doesn't live here?
Do you guys all live in this house?
Yeah, for now.
Does Mike live here?
Pretty much.
A few days. TT lives here?
Yeah, TT has stayed here. I mean, honestly, the amount of times Homeless Pimp and TT have slept over, you might actually be residents here legally. I mean, because
I could be squatting.
You could be squatting. You're here constantly, and we sleep in all like sometimes
beds.
in the bed. There's times where we'll be in the bed upstairs. First, it'll start out just me and Jasmine. We call her Vinny on the podcast. It'll be me and Vinny, and then one of the three kids will wind up in the bed. Sometimes I'll be sleeping in the guest room. And Vinny will come down, and a kid or TT Jerry I'll be waking, and he's sucking my dick, and it's like a whole, and it's
yes. You never know who's sucking your dick.
You
basically
never know
when you open
in
your
here.
eyes in this house. It could be Mike.
Mike and the thing is, but pretty much Homeless Pimp and TT Jerry pretty much share that guest room, and I want to be honest with you, we've never washed the sheets. So when you guys sleep in that, the next one rolls over. So whatever you guys are doing, it's just you sleep in each other's fumes and fluids.
That prison theme.
No, and I've been sleeping in there recently, as you know from the last podcast. Some problems, but that's okay. We put on the front, and it's nice.
I'm having a lovely time talking to Jazzy. I think she's great.
Jazzy is great. And by the way,
let's get the sheets washed. I'm concerned. I'll never forget this throughout the rest of the hour.
Yes.
The sheets will stay with me.
Just covered in cum.
The sheets are, the sheets are
man filth.
The sheets are covered in cum and Anxiety Tuesday merch.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Because my sheets for a time were just full of cum too. When I had a boyfriend for a little bit.
Yeah.
How often are you washing sheets when you're fucking on the sheets?
Man, it's been so long since like regular cum's been on the sheets. Like, I think you
You
gotta
mean just irregular cum.
no, like when it's been when they've been cummed on. That's why you just gotta let a guy come inside you because I'm not trying to wash the sheets all the time.
Yeah, for sure. But sometimes it drips out a little.
Then
That's why I have kids. That's why I have so many kids because I've been protecting my pillowcases. I'm like, what do you want to wash
Is this
the
an ad
sheets?
for Buffy sheets?
Yes.
And now I'm going over
Shout
my
out Buffy
spot.
Comforters that's made from eucalyptus plants, koala food. Buffy.com.
Code GGE.
Yeah, go GG. Code GG. And speaking of, hey, how about this? Also, if you girls want to exercise, get, me and Pimp have been doing it. If you go to patreon.com/Jazzy Method, Jasmine started her fitness classes again that she does right there from the garage, AKA my bedroom. She does it in the garage. And patreon.com/Jazzy Method, she just started out. So let me know. And do not, by the way, if you take the class, you have to have your camera on the whole time. I've had enough of you creeps watching the class with your camera off and jerking off to it, okay?
Oh, you don't
Stop
want
doing
that.
Jerk off into your own damn sheets.
She's hot.
She is hot.
I liked
She's-
watching her fitness videos when she was pregnant because it's like I'm so enthralled by like how she can. She's like 8 months pregnant, just doing like planks.
Yeah, she would just. I would be like, I mean, you're crushing my kid's head doing. Yeah, you're like.
I filmed them work out together, and she was running laps around Chris in L.A.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, in
you
fairness,
worked
I had
out
COVID.
too?
No,
With her? Did she teach you how to work out?
She does. No, the thing is, here's the thing.
Yes.
Here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be honest with the podcast, and obviously with my friends, the Girls Gotta Eat, who I haven't seen in a long time. I'm on steroids. And
I really didn't know what was coming.
no, here's the thing with me is I'm a physical therapist. I still have that license. So I know everything there is to know about the human body and what to do, but I do this thing in my head where like I make believe I don't, and I'm like, help me, I need help. And I don't know why I do that, but I'm only now at 37 years old starting to be like, oh, that's like, you shouldn't do that. Like you should just like go in there and like you tell everybody what to do because you know what to do, but it's not my personality. You know what I mean?
You second guess it.
I'm Chrissy second guesses.
But okay, is the steroids a part of the things you don't think you should be doing, or that's just you're just doing it?
Yeah, no, the steroids are. I thought that I was going to do a second season of the show that I hosted on True TV, but now. All right, next week, January 14th and 15th, I will be in Austin, Texas at the Big Vulcan Gas Company, Austin, Texas. It's going to be so much fun. Then January 21st, Orlando, Florida, co-headlining with Andrew Dice Clay. January 22nd, Tampa, Florida at the Tampa Theater. January 29th, Atlantic City, New Jersey. February 5th, I will be at the Beacon Theater. And then February 11th and 12th, Washington, D.C. and Atlanta, Georgia. And then in March, we have Detroit. We have Cleveland. We got the Chicago Theater March 12th, Seattle, Portland in March, Vegas in March. We got a bunch of them, but the ones coming up, January 14, 15, Austin, Texas, January 21st, 22nd, we have got co-headlining with Andrew Dice Clay at the Hard Rock in Orlando and the Tampa Theater in Tampa. So I'm really excited. Go to chrisdcomedy.com for tickets.
Does it really change your natural body? Like, aren't you a bigger dude?
No, I was kidding.
Not-
I'm not on steroids. But I do want to take them.
That was all a
you-
joke?
That was
you
just
are
a kid
getting-
on the Chrissy Chaos podcast.
You're definitely on steroids.
No, I want to be on steroids. No, I want to start.
Are you on
taking
testosterone?
No, that's the one I want to take because I heard from a friend. No, not HGH, but I heard from a friend that if you take his name is Tank Sinatra. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
The chaos is
Bleep
started.
that part out. No, Tank Sinatra sold me steroids. Raid his house. No, I'm kidding. But I heard that. As you get older and men, testosterone goes down. So I want to test my blood. And if my testosterone is low, I'd like to start taking some tests. But the only thing is you have to give blood every month or every 3 weeks, because if you take testosterone and don't give blood, then you can get blood clots and die.
You probably have low T because you have great hair. It's like a thing.
Low T equals great hair?
I mean, that's what our friend told us, who has the best hair. And then he said, he asked our other friend, Dylan Palladino, who was bald with a lot of body hair. That means you have high T. Apparently.
Oh, I thought you just knew this. Ashley's like, listen, Ashley's a doctor. Ashley is diagnosed everybody we know with COVID.
Yes.
I mean, it's not a leap because everybody we know has COVID, but she has been doing it.
You just said you had COVID.
I was kidding around. No, I still have.
I never know what's
You
true.
never got it?
I've never gotten COVID to this day.
He
Neither has Pimp.
He won't get it.
Are you an anti-vaxxer or you give vax?
No, I got the vax. I got the vax.
Okay. I'm never sure.
No. I 100% got the vaccine. I don't know if I'll get the booster, but I have gotten the vaccine.
I love the way you said that like it's for pussies.
Yeah. I'm not going to get that booster.
I think Aaron Berg did a bit where he was like, I got the vax, but I'm not getting the booster. If you guys didn't make a good enough vax, that's not my problem.
Aaron Berg needs a booster seat. Not a booster shot.
We're pro booster, but live your truth.
No. Listen, whatever people want to do,
yeah.
I'm not giving it to my kids. No, whatever people want to do. I mean, honestly, just stay safe. At this point, I don't think anybody, we don't, here at this podcast, we just don't give a shit anymore. I'm just like, come to the shows. I don't give a fuck if you have a fake vax card. It's like people, if they're going to get COVID, they got it or didn't already. And if they're going to get the vax, they would have gotten it by now. So who gives a fuck? Just if you want to die, die. If you, who cares?
I know.
I don't care.
I think there's nothing more gross than to be an anti-vaxxer with a fake vax card, but that's coming from somebody that had a fake ID. So can I really talk?
I know.
Like I had my first fake at 15, was buying alcohol.
Yeah. So, I mean,
total liability.
We all do shit like that. We all do stuff like that. And I mean, listen, we're doing it here. We're doing it here. We're good. Why do you have Pope Francis up, by the way? Because sometimes he has the Pope up with a dog with his tongue out.
The Pope is going after couples who choose pets over children.
Wow, you guys really picked a headline for
me
us.
and Ashley.
Yes.
Because Ashley and I pick pets over children as well.
You guys actually don't want kids.
Well, I think it's selfish to have kids.
Okay.
in this world, cool.
Yeah.
Chris just made a baby, literally last week.
I mean,
there's
listen,
babies all over the sheets of his house.
The reason why I have 3 children is because the world needs more Republicans. So that's what I did.
No, I mean,
here's the thing. I can't be bothered. It's not deeper than that. I don't want to listen. My body is aging badly enough. I don't have money to give to another person. I can't be bothered. I
have the money.
I want to jet off on vacation.
You girls are selling out wherever you go. You have the money.
Yeah, listen. I don't want to give my money to something
Theater.
else.
Girls got to eat.
This is such a weird thing. It feels like it was somehow taken out of context. I don't understand why the animals have to be brought into it. Is his point just if you don't choose to procreate, you're selfish?
Okay, so what the Pope has said is today we see a form of selfishness. Well, is he from Spain? Where's the Pope from? What country is he from? Is it from Spain? Because I'll read it in a Spanish accent if he's from Spain.
I'm not sure.
Or is it from it's from Argentina.
Just pick an accent.
Okay,
That's
sorry.
Gonna be fun.
Go with
Today
one.
we see a form of selfishness. We see that people do not want to have a child, said Pope Francis. Sometimes they have one and that's it. But they have dogs and cats that take the place of children. This may make people laugh, but it is a reality. So he's saying it's selfish to not have kids and instead have dogs and cats because you know what it is? You know what Pope Francis is really saying is dogs and cats can't give money to the Catholic Church. Only children can. That's what he's saying.
Yes.
If dogs and cats had Bitcoin and make no mistake, Catholic Church is going to start coming around that fucking aisle in that pew when they need the collection after the homily, and you're going to be able to start putting Bitcoin in that goddamn basket because the church is losing money.
So this only applies to Catholics, so I'm not even going to take offense.
Are you Catholic?
No.
What are you?
Just agnostic.
Just not Jewish.
I know she used to look Jewish, but she fixed that.
I got my
Yeah, girl, work.
You can say it. I can't.
I am Jewish. I know you can't tell either because obviously
I looked more Jewish than Rayna.
Yeah, people thought that one of us was a Jew. They were like, it's definitely Ashley.
Really?
Ashley's the first one to pick up the phone, call the front desk. But then
it was my face. I mean, I took care of it.
Yeah. She took care of it. She looks incredible.
Right.
This is no offense to Jews. I don't know how to say it. People thought that looking at my face, I'm like a brunette. I had a big nose. My last name is Hesseltine. They thought I was Jewish, and that's just what it was. And then I don't have the nose anymore, and I got some highlights.
Is such an awesome last name. You don't hear that much.
Hesseltine. I know it sounds German.
Hesseltine.
A little different. A little opposite.
A little opposite. Not like Greenberg. Greenberg's super Jewish.
You could go Hesseltine, which people do when they like bring me up for comedy. No one gets it right.
Hesseltine it is, right?
Hesseltine,
Yes,
yeah.
but
So it's
Hesseltine.
like Ashley Hesseltine, Ashley Hesseltine, Ashley Hesseltine, Ashley Hesseltine, Ashley Hesseltine. Like
love
peanut butter
it.
jelly.
Keep
peanut
going.
butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly in a baseball bat.
Or you could do you could do Hammer Time with it, or you could do like what time is it? It's Hessel time.
Hessel time. I'm having a Hessel time of my life with you. Things like that.
Exactly. Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Pimp, homeless pimp now is a full.
Who we
The first thing the girl
introduced you
said.
to.
The first thing the girl said when they came and they said homeless pimp's a whole new guy now. he's like he's changed everything. Listen, you know me. I'm Chrissy CBD. CBD has helped me so many times. CBD has lowered my anxiety. It's lowered my blood pressure. It's helped me so much. And I found a CBD company that I love. It's called Feels CBD. Not Feels like this. It's called Feels, Feals CBD, and it shipped direct to my doorstep in only a few days. It's new, natural, healthy, better way to feel better. It's a premium CBD delivered directly to your doorstep. It naturally helps reduce stress, anxiety, pain, and sleeplessness. All true. This is genuinely working for me. Place a few drops of Feels under your tongue and feel the difference within minutes. That's what I did. I actually put a little bit too in some tea, and I felt it that way. But put it under your tongue, right into your bloodstream. It's amazing. And it works in a natural way to help you feel better. So all you got to do right now is I want you to join the Feels community. That's what you got to do. And you're going to get a sweet discount. The Chrissy Chaos listeners are going to get a sweet discount. Become a member today because it's a membership thing, just like the Patreon. It's a membership thing. Go to Feels, FEALS.com/chaos, and you're going to get 50% off your first order with free shipping. If you go to FEALS.com/chaos, 50% off your first order with free shipping. I mean, do it. Let me know how you like it. Send us pictures. Send us pictures of you taking the CBD, and let me feel your feels. Let me feels you up with CBD.
Marcia Grady looks like Andy Warhol.
No.
I don't know what happened. Wearing purple glasses and a rainbow Sherpa jacket. He just upped his whole look.
No, it's crazy. I feel like, but what I wanted to bring up to the girls was because now, I mean, obviously, we've got the purple glasses, homeless pip, he's lost the weight, which we've said many times on the podcast, his secret to weight loss, Heineken's and salads. That's his diet. That's what he said. Heineken beers and salads. And I can tell you, that's all he eats and drinks is Heineken beers and salads for every meal all day. And he's lost 50 plus pounds.
Are you enjoying the salads?
Yeah, they're great.
Okay, you like salads.
Yeah.
Are you
But
having
the
Heineken
question-
for like lunch?
Only on the road.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'm a bad
interrupted you.
influence.
Okay.
I like muffins. But what can you do?
Also, nothing wrong with a midday Heineken, right?
I know. Do you want Heineken? We got
You
Modelo's.
said all day long, so I was
We're in
thinking
New
like
Jersey.
breakfast,
Do you want a
breakfast,
Modelo?
lunch, and dinner.
We are in New Jersey.
I drove, and it's a whole
I'll get
thing.
you guys Modelo. Okay, if anybody wants a Modelo, we got it. But my question for the girls got to eat art because I feel like you're the two most only women qualified to answer this. Oh, no. Is homeless pimp on first glance now? This homeless pimp. I'm not talking about last year's homeless pimp. I'm talking about the 2022 fully vaxxed homeless pimp. This look, this idea. Is he a fuckboy?
Oh,
Is this a fuckboy look?
I mean his outfit,
Is
right?
fuckboy status.
Whole look.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You're like that guy is something.
You don't trust this guy with this look.
No.
As a woman in a bar, you're like, he's problems, this guy.
I don't know if
Or is
it's
he
fuck
fun?
boy if I'm getting it's something it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not soft boy either so much.
Yeah, it's not
like,
soft
fuck
boy.
doesn't like purple
about-
glasses.
Let me give you the
aren't
three
fuck boy
options.
to me.
Is he fuck boy, fun boy, or lady boy? Which one?
Oh, fun boy might work.
Fun boy.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Like,
Nice.
but you could go either way because it's not commitment boy.
Right.
You know, so you could look at him and then you talk to him very briefly and you're like, that guy's a genuine cool dude.
Yeah.
But he's probably not gonna be my boyfriend.
Yeah. I'll pimp constantly. I'll get messages to me that I do not check or read. Then I'll get messages that say, hey, homeless pimp hasn't, from girls, homeless pimp hasn't responded. I need to get through home. They'll come to me to try to get to homeless pimp.
Oh, we get that a lot too.
That's what they do. They're like, we need to get to pimp. Get me to homeless pimp. And sometimes I'll screenshot them and send them to pimp and be like, hey, this girl just, it's in my request, just FYI. And he goes, oh yeah, no, I saw her. He goes, I have no time. I have to edit. So I think pimp has sex with this editing equipment.
Okay.
That's what I think he does because I've been with pimp every day of my life for the past year and a half. And there's been Not one girl besides the Boston one. Not one. Not one.
Shout out.
Shout out Boston girl. Thank you.
So I have a question for you. Are you just not? You just can't be bothered? Because like I understand that where you're in a place of like I'm working and I can't be bothered.
I can't be distracted.
And I think like FuqBoi to me is somebody that's like, yeah, you can come over and fuck me, and I just won't call you after.
I turn that down.
Yes. So I think
Kim's very smart.
Not a huge. Not.
I feel like the only thing that can fuck me up right now is pills or pussy.
I love that. I mean, go off, King. I mean, did you?
And
You
Joe
weren't. But you
Biden.
weren't. Joe Byron. It's Joe Byron.
Joe Byron, Ashley's home state, Delaware.
There's 3 famous people from the state: me, Joe, and my brother. No, so.
All right, this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. You know me, I'm a nutbag. I've had a lot of issues growing up. I still, at times, have felt bad about things because I go out, you know, when my family goes sleep at night, I go out and I suck dick on Highland Boulevard in Staten Island, and I brought that up to a therapist, and I've always hated myself for, you know, giving men blowjobs on the street corner of wherever I lived. And it wasn't until I went to BetterHelp did my counselor tell me that that's okay, and that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gay, that when my family goes to sleep, I have an obsession to gargle cum. He says, you can do whatever you like to do, whenever you like to do it, as long as you're not hurting yourself or others. And I'm not. And BetterHelp has helped me. Mental health is such a big talking point, okay? Listen, a lot of other people have mental health issues other than Simone Biles, okay? It's like, listen, every athlete now is talking about mental health. It's like, well, look, dude, I've had mental health issues my whole life, and BetterHelp is the first group of people that have truthfully helped me. And if you're suffering from mental health, or if you just want to talk to somebody, then I need you to right now go to betterhelp.com/chaos. That's betterhelp.com/chaos, and you're going to get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/chaos.
I feel good. I like to work.
Yeah, I feel like for me, it's always been like, I subconsciously think I'm always like was a lot of times just always like seeking approval, and I needed to be like, I need to go justify this by we need to have sex and do this and do that because like I feel bad about myself. But that has changed a lot. I think the quarantine, when you just have like time to like I was just sitting with my kids being like, what the fuck am I only need approval from my kids.
Right.
That's it, you know? So like, if it's like a woman, I just don't chase it, you know. I mean, still send the DMs, but I'm kidding. Delete that part.
Well, we all need validation in some way.
Yeah.
So I think so many guys need it from women wanting to sleep with them and sleeping with women. But Mike is like, I want to like have a thriving career.
It's so I see the strength in him because I'm like, yo, you're single, dude, and these girls are like throwing it, like screwing their pussies off and fucking throwing them at Mike, and Mike is just like, no.
You just can't be bothered.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless I'm interested in the person, why?
No.
Okay.
Why?
Yeah. It feels like a lot of energy to
wanna
like
get
go
to know
sleep with a
somebody.
person that you don't feel like getting to know.
Yeah.
I have a question for you because I mean I know how you used to be. Were you like popular and good looking in high school? Like when you were coming up?
No, I was on the basketball team, but I wouldn't say that I was. I was very strange looking. Like all I think that's happened in my life is I've grown into my head.
Okay.
I've
You had
always
cornrows at one point.
I used to have
right?
cornrows at one point.
Okay.
I was really. I didn't have sex for the first time until I was 18 or 19 years old. I was in college the first time I had sex.
I was just asking because sometimes I think when you're growing up, especially like men that were like nerdy or like couldn't get girls, like try to like make up for it like crazy in their 20s.
No, I definitely got enough. I always had girlfriends and stuff. I definitely got, I was an athlete. So I spoke to girls. I think with me, it was a lot of just when I was single, a lot of just like, I kept finding girls that were like me, that they just were like, sad, alone, a lot of single parents, a lot of like, because I was a single dad at the time, single mom, we were just finding each other being like, the kids, the ex, so let's just have sex and that's it. And that's kind of what it was. But I realized like how empty and stupid that was. And I got chlamydia like 3 times. So
that'll do it. Yeah.
So nailed it. So but now, you know, I'm better. I don't think I'm like healthy yet, but I'm better. I'm a lot better than I was. Even you know, I am.
No, I'm not saying that. I think at some point we just like settle down a little bit. We like pick a person. We're like, it's enough. I feel fulfilled. I feel good. I don't know what you're like.
Well,
but,
no.
we'll stop at some point.
Well, no. Now I feel like it's something shifted in me. I don't know. Maybe it's like because my daughter my oldest one is 6. So now I'm like, oh shit, now she'll have memories. Like now it's like how I act is going to be impactful on her. So now I'm like, do you really, like, it's not cool anymore to be, if you were single, to be the guy like, you know, shuffling girls in and out. This is like, that was back in the day shit. Now it's like either you stay and make it work with her mom, or you don't, and then you go be like single and like be strong and don't like be a really good influence on her, you know, that way. Because I'm like, but I wasn't thinking like that when I was single the first time when I had her, because I was like, oh, she's too young, she has no memory. I keep saying she has no memory, she doesn't, all I got to do is play with her and blah blah blah. But now it's like, no, now it's like I'm fully responsible for the development of like a young female brain. So I'm very aware of that. I mean, I don't know what the fuck to do, but I'm just like,
this is the first step. Awareness is the first step.
At least I just know about it now. I'm very conscious of that. And now I'm just like, oh no, dude, like I can't, you know, like I have memories from when I'm 6, you know,
100%.
Yeah. So it's like, she's going to remember. She might remember today. She might remember today and be like, I want to go be the Girls Gotta Eat. Imagine
she is going to remember today.
Pod. She already actually has started a pod.
Yeah, we filmed one.
We'll have her on.
Never showed it to the public, but she does every time we're done, she runs right in and she starts the Delilah and Daddy show. And
Wait, I like that name.
Yeah, I know. And she doesn't.
It's catchy.
Yeah. And she, but she does, but I have no part in it. I just sit there and she yells at me and doesn't let me answer questions. She just tells me how, you know, how dumb I am.
I have a question. Like, it feels like she's plays such an integral part in who you are as a man, not to sound so cheesy, but this, you know, it started with like, well, now she has memories and she knows what I'm doing. Like, is there a part of it that makes you just want to, not that you're disrespectful to women, but like you think about how you're treating women because you have a daughter and you wouldn't want her to be treated like that?
100%. Now I do. At first, in the beginning, just because you have a daughter, I think like I mean, listen, everybody's different, but I think for me, I was just like, yeah, I have a daughter, and you know, not that I was ever disrespectful to women, but I was always like, just not really thinking. I was thinking like, oh, I have like a young child that I love, that's my whole world. But it's like I kept just the thing, it was like a defense mechanism, I guess, where I was like, oh, but she has no memories. So I was just like, oh, you can be who you want to be and it's not going to impact anyone, don't worry about it. When I was, you know, not with her mom, and I was like, just, you know, worry about like, you know, just like don't be a dirtbag around her mom, and that'll cause problems, but that's it. But now I'm like, yeah, if I don't like show her not only a good example in now that thing where they say the internet's forever, now it's meaningful to me. Now I'm like, wait a second, what am I putting out there? Because now Delilah is going to be impacted by this. So I'm like, I should have been thinking about that 4 years ago, because it's like, you know, there's stuff on the internet that's like, shit, I don't want my daughter to have to answer any questions. But I also think, you know, there's a bit of narcissism in that, where it's like, do people really care about me? You know what I mean? It's like, just shut up, Chris. Like, your daughter's going to be fine. But in my little world and house, whatever, I'm like, everything I say to Jasmine, I'm thinking about what Delilah, how how that makes her think and feel. Everything I say to my mom, everything I say to anyone, I'm like, how does this impact her? And Violet, my little one, is only 6 months old, but my hope is that Delilah passes it down to Violet, because I would assume by the time Violet's 6 or 7 years old, Jasmine would have killed me already.
Okay.
So yeah, I would assume.
Ashley and I were talking about in the car on the way over how she used to hit you in the face a lot on Instagram stories, and I noticed you don't do that anymore with her. It's been a while since I've seen her take a swing at you.
Well, I couldn't. I have a full. I'll give you guys the info for it. I have a Instagram for Delilah and Violet, but I had to stop posting Delilah on Instagram because one guy, but it freaked me and her mom out enough.
One's enough.
One's enough, where they were like, hey, your daughter has such beautiful feet. I can't stop thinking about her feet.
What size shoe are you? When you said
she was 3 at the time. And I was like, you know what? Me and her mom made a choice. We were like, let's just make a fully private Instagram.
Yeah.
And that's what we have now. And I'll send you guys the link where it's like, just
we can follow.
We'll all approve. You get in. Just friends and family. And then we post all the pics and videos, all that stuff. She still does all that stuff. We just post it privately. Yeah. Because I'm like, we want to have the memories there and a place for it. But look at her, she's screaming. But she just screams at people.
I think you're right. I think it's like, as you get a little bigger, I mean, listen, you won't say it, but I'll say it. Like, you're a famous person. Like, people can find your child. Why put your child on the internet if you don't have to? I think it's smart. Safe.
Yeah.
One is enough. One would scare me.
I mean, I think it's so important that you think about everything that comes out of your mouth, because I think about this sometimes. Like kids, once they start having memories, everything your parent says gets ingrained in your brain forever.
Yeah.
Like everything that your dad says is fact till you know any better.
Yes.
Like you become the complete product of your parents.
Yeah, because I kind of like had to, say like, well, whatever's out there on the internet now, it's like, it's out, it is forever, it's whatever it is. All I can do is be better now. But I'm like, look, like, what I want, what I really want too is I want like just all like the best I can hope for is that me and Jasmine are very strong role models for the kids. That's it. Like, that's all. I know we both are inevitably accidentally going to make like permanent mistakes that are going to affect their brain development in some way. All our parents did that.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to minimize it and learn as much as I can about myself and, try to be the best dad. But, I'm just like, look, as long as I'm conscious and in the moment about, hey, to my kid, like Delilah, like this is what it is. Like, look, even now growing up, she's already at this kid. She's 6 years old. She already asked me. She goes to me. I forgot to tell you this. A couple of weeks ago, she goes, she was like, Dad, you're white? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, why are white people bad? And I was like, what? I was like, who taught you that? And she was like, no, she's like, one of the girls in my class said that like all white people are bad. And I was like, here's the thing, babe. You're half Puerto Rican, number one, so you're a Latina. I was like, number two, white people aren't bad. What we are winners. I was like, what we are the fucking champs. And that's why people get mad. No.
Oh my God.
No.
I was over here thinking like, yeah, kind of we are.
No, I know. No, definitely we are.
What that kid said was right.
No, but she really did say that to me. And it's like, you don't know what to say to that, where you're like, listen, history, like we'll talk all about history. I love history. Like I love that. I love history. Jazz doesn't really like care too much about history, but I love history. So in little ways, I like talk to my daughter about something. I give her some type of history fact almost every day just to talk about, just so she has things for me, because she's already getting bombarded with like a lot of this culture stuff.
Remember at the restaurant, she said, do you know the vegetable marijuana to us?
The vegetable marijuana. Oh, yeah. She goes,
you don't know what they hear on the
internet.
internet.
No, she said marriage. Yeah. She goes, what's the vegetable marijuana? She goes, I want to start eating marijuanas.
Oh,
and I said, and we were like, what? We were all trying to figure it out.
I Googled it.
Where were we? Where were we when she did that?
As you start to type it out, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, she was like, marijuana. And I was like, no, you mean marijuana? I was like, no, but I'm trying to be honest with her, where I'm like, yeah, that's something that people call weed. I was like, that's a drug. You can't have that. And,
I don't know how to talk to kids. I just would assume like they want to be talked to like adults a little bit.
They do. Yeah.
But if my kid asked me like, are white people bad? I would need to like hit the pause button, go in the other room, Google it. Like, how do I answer this?
Wait, Rayna Googles, are white people bad?
I know. I'm like, listen, you get mommy a drink and mommy will figure out what to say to you.
Yeah. I mean, I was one of the...
She asks her mom. Her mom's like, yeah, they are.
Yeah. Her mom's like, but you have kids with them and you take their money. And then they started twerking. My daughter's twerking in a diaper.
They're good for one thing. Yeah.
I know. All her kids are white. Hey, what's this? Woman catches boyfriend having sex with his stepsister.
This sounds like my porn category.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Rayna loves step sibling porn.
I love step porn. Can't get enough
jerking.
of it.
Okay.
A scorn woman.
My ex-stepsister sent me a Snapchat video of the two of them both completely naked, and she was on top of him. But that doesn't mean they were having sex.
Really? Why am I usually naked and on top of a person?
Maybe you're doing fucking, I don't know,
dishes?
Some type of new
TikToks?
therapy.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw the video, I started crying, and my first thought was, what the fuck? A freshman, Copenhagen, a freshman at Michigan Technological University, so that's a made-up school, originally detailed the
Michigan
disturbing...
Tech.
Michigan Tech. Okay, so you don't go to college.
This is so mean. She like purposely sent her
Right,
That's fucked up. That's fucked up that they did that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been cheated on or found out about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got cheated on, and I mean, long story short, I ended up that guy got engaged to her that he cheated on me with, and I went to the wedding.
Yeah, I was gonna say
with his friend. And the way that the wedding was set up, first of all, I like glowed up, he glowed down. He had put on like 20 pounds. I had lost 20. He like showed up to the wedding looking good with his best friend. And then the way that the wedding was set up at the rehearsal dinner, or no, at the wedding, at the reception, the bridal party was all at one table, and the guy that I was there with, his friend, like, was a groomsman, so I sat right across from the bride and groom the entire wedding, just staring him down. He was just like stress eating. It was like beautiful. Wow. So that's my favorite thing. That's my favorite cheating story.
Did you hook up with his friend who you went to the wedding with?
Yeah, we were like seeing it. Like these were two guys I knew from college. Like it wasn't, years had passed between the two times I've even dated them. Like it was just like I reconnected with this friend, and he was like, "Do you want to go to this wedding?" I was like, "Yeah," because he didn't know we dated.
Yeah.
It was a little shady, but it was the best thing I've ever done.
Well, how initially though, when that all happened, you could have never seen yourself going to this guy's wedding. You were like mortified and hurt and whatever, right?
Yeah, it was a couple years had passed, and I was like, oh, he's going to marry that girl, you know, knowing that like he cheated.
So in a way, you can't even fault the cheating. I mean, I know it sucks for you, but it's like, if you're going to cheat on me, you better marry the person you cheated with.
Yeah. Yes. It all worked out.
I'm going to fuck your best friend. I'm going to lock eyes with you while you blow down and binge eat at your own wedding.
Guess what? I fucked your dad. You know, that's what it is.
It's insane to sit across from a bride and groom and be like, I fucked this groom and no one knows. And he's just sitting there like, he's just like deer in the headlights. Like, what's she going to do? Of course, I had jokes, headline the table, just crushed the wedding.
Crushed.
I think it ruined his wedding.
Ruined his wedding. You had your fucking Zoom recorder out. It was a podcast episode. We sold ads on that shit.
So sorry. Anyway, Mike, yes, to answer your question.
Have you been cheated on, Rayna?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you let it like just roll? I feel like you're the type of girl who, because you have so much confidence, you both have very confidence, but I feel like you're, confident and you're very much like, you know what, you want to cheat on me, that's your
Chris,
mistake.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I went batshit crazy and he called the cops on me. Let me tell you the story.
He called the cops on you? What did you do?
He was in the shower. We were living together. I was like 22. He said, "Can you run out and get food? If you go, I'll pay for it. Just go into my wallet." I kind of had a feeling that he was cheating on me anyways. Went into his wallet. There was a stack of receipts from dinners and hotels that I was not at.
Okay.
So this is a Whitney Houston song.
Who keeps their receipts? I know.
I know. Isn't that so weird? I was also back when I was getting like bank statements sent to the house too, like papers. Also, this is like a lot of years ago. So I went into the bathroom.
Trying to get caught. I think he wanted out.
I mean, who keeps a receipt? That's crazy. So I went into the bathroom and I was like, "What is this dinner you went to last night?" You told me it's none of your business.
He's butt naked with scrubbing.
Butt naked, wet,
shampoo on his
in
head.
The bathroom.
Yeah, with a loofah.
I was like, "What is this receipt?" And he said, "It's none of your business." And I just saw red, went ballistic. I took his computer and I like smashed it off the dresser. He was chasing me around the apartment we lived in, butt naked
with his little wet ding dong like that.
I was like, "You don't live here anymore." I'm screaming at him. I'm so mad. He called the police. I left. The police, he told me, showed up and made fun of him for calling the. They were like, "What does she look like?" He's like, "She's 5 feet tall. She's got a huge shit. She's Jewish. She's 5 feet tall." And they were like, "Bro, you called the police. You couldn't handle this."
Yeah.
And then we broke up, and that was it.
And then but like now, if you saw that guy, you couldn't care less.
Actually, Ashley and I had dinner. He owns a restaurant in Philadelphia. Ashley and I had brunch with Ashley's parents at his restaurant in Philadelphia. After we sold out a bunch of shows at the Fillmore, it was a great weekend, and he wasn't there.
Yeah. And he was all good. Like he was no problems with you.
So I feel about cheating. Like if you're gonna do that to me, just like continuous, constant, just come home to be lied to my face every day. You're like a bad person, and I'm just not gonna be with you. Like I don't remember like mourning that relationship super deeply. I remember feeling like this is a bad person, and I'm like lucky to not have married you, God forbid, or something like that.
Right. We have like pretty evolved opinions on cheating. I mean, we've, at this point learned so much through the guests we've had on the show, and, we're grown-ups, and we've had Esther Perel on the show, which is probably like
who's that?
She's probably the number one therapist that discusses cheating.
Like in the world. Yeah.
Bunch of books. And it was like such a get to have her on. So cheating, someone that cheats doesn't mean it's a terrible person. Like it's not, our episode title was called Cheating Isn't Black and White, because it's not. People cheat for different reasons and they feel trapped. And I'm not like a cheater apologist, but to come home every day and look at someone's face and lie, he seemed just like a shitty kind of remorse type of person.
I felt like it was for sport. Yeah, I'm with Ashley. Yeah. I think people cheat for a million reasons. I think you never know what's going on in somebody's relationship or in their life. So I have like a pretty open view of it. But that just felt like he was doing it for fun.
Yeah.
Just to be
and his
asshole.
reaction to say it's none of your business is that to me was like, dude, don't say that.
And he never fully apologized, never like fully admitted it to me. Yeah. It wasn't somebody that came to me with remorse and was like, I'm unhappy. Here's why I did this. Yeah. I think that people like have long relationships. You can talk about this stuff and you can come back from it. This was not something I was going to come back from. Also, I was so young.
You're 22 years old.
22, 23.
Now, if you got cheated on by this guy, let's say a month ago, would you still have would it be the same thing with cops being called on Rayna? Let's be honest.
I think for me, at least the writing was on the wall a little bit more back then, and I didn't know how to like name the behavior. I felt like really uncomfortable in the relationship. I felt like it was unstable. I felt like he was a narcissist and a pathological liar. But like at that age, I couldn't like name that behavior.
It does feel young too. You know, we get crazy cheating. This is no shade. We get crazy cheating stories from girls who are 20, 21. We're like, it's just kind of immature, young behavior.
That's how I feel about any real relationship problem now. I feel like now at 37 years old, I'm like, if you want to go and break up, then just go. Or I tell friends that we're not kids anymore. Yeah. Especially now, even me having children. I understand people that don't have children. I get it's a different mindset, but just me having kids, I'm like, honestly, I don't give a fuck. If you don't want to be with me or I don't want to be with you, then we'll just separate. There's no point. I got to take my kids to school. Like I think back to some of my previous relationships. I'm like, I cannot believe how long I was stuck on her. She was stuck on me and how we went round and round and we had no children at all. We could have at any moment just got our lives back and been sad for like 2 days.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So true. The ramifications are much worse today.
Yeah.
I feel like Ashley and I both, I feel like we pick really nice people. So I think if somebody I dated today cheated on me, I'd be more like devastated because I'm not dating people that I think would like lie to me.
Would like lie to you, yeah.
And I think I wouldn't go ballistic. I think I'd be like really hurt.
When I tell Delilah too, I've started telling her this almost like every night at my bed, just because I've said this many times on the podcast, but what the number one fear to me, a lot of, I've said on this podcast, it's not China, it's not Joe Biden's immigration policy. It's the number one fear that I have in life is insecure men around my daughter. I feel like an insecure man, it's like you're messing, like the male ego is one of the most fragile things in the universe. And I'm like, that's when all the problems happen. That's when women get hit. That's when women get killed. That's when men do stupid shit and kill their family and kill themselves. The most insecure friends I've had in my life, all of them, like clockwork, have been abusive to the women in their life or abusive to someone because they're so fucking insecure. So I always tell her, like, watch out for that. I talk to her about what insecurity is and what all that stuff looks like, because I'm like, that's what I don't want. So that's why for me, my example is like, at the very least, even if I fuck up, I want to show her like I'm secure with myself. I'm very secure with myself, and I'm secure with your mom, because I don't want her to be like, oh, I want a guy, who's gonna, be insecure and lie to me and do all the, because then that guy, when you break up with him, that's the guy that's going to kill you and hit you and do something he regrets, and then I lose my kid.
Well, you're so far ahead of this, it'll never happen. Like, the second she starts dating, you will alert her to a male's insecurity in a kind way, and she'll just know that she'll know red flags soon. I've never heard a dad say this. Like, it's so important. Like, she'll just know those red flags before many other young girls would.
And it's one of those things,
I think you're going to be good.
And it's one of those things where, like, I'm trying to be as progressive as I can, as woke as I can.
Are you? But he's like, let's go,
listen
Brandon.
to me. I'm trying to be progressive as I can and as woke as I can. And it's like, I'm one of those dads where, like, parents where, like, my child's not going to do anything unless I do it first. So guess what? My daughter gets a boyfriend, I'm sucking his dick first. And
that's being a liberal.
And that's what I'm saying. And then I'm going to waltz in my mouth and say, let's go, Brandon. Hurry up. I got to get back to my fucking barbecue because his name is Brandon.
Oh my God.
Now, speaking of, go ahead.
Did you girls, did you not have any boyfriends? Your dad was like, can you please break up with him?
Oh yeah. Good question, Pimp.
Well, I didn't have a lot of boyfriends because guys didn't want to really date me in high school too much.
Why not?
Oh, really?
No, I just wasn't like I dated a little bit. I had a couple boyfriends, but I wasn't like, guys weren't busting down the door. I hadn't like glowed up.
You hadn't bloomed into, because you're now both very beautiful girls.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks,
we've put a lot of work into it.
We pay a lot of money for it.
Shout out, thanks for selling out the Chicago theater. That's what you're seeing right here.
But my one boyfriend, like my most serious boyfriend, started dating him at the end of high school. My dad just didn't like see him doing much in his life. So I think his biggest fear, which he didn't, his biggest fear was that I would like stay and get knocked up and not go to college or something. But they were always like nice guys. I never had a guy that ever met my parents that my parents were like, that's a great that guy seems great.
Yeah.
You know, even like my ex and I broke up. We had a pretty toxic relationship. They were like, but he was so great to be around. He's a good person. So there was never like I think Rayna's had a little more like she's dated a couple like bad dudes that are like ultimately like sociopaths, narcissists.
Yeah, like did your mom and dad like the guy who called the cops on you? They can't have liked that guy. I mean, what a pussy.
That was like a really, like Ash said, a very young relationship, but I also lied a lot. Like one of my best friends said to me the other day, she was like, I was looking back at all of our emails over the last like 15 years and she was like, that was the worst part of our relationship. You lied to me a lot. Like I lied. Like I didn't want people to know I was like with him. I didn't really like bring him around because I knew he was like a bad guy. My problem with my parents, I think my parents just like want, my dad's like you in the sense that like my parents just let me know all the time, like you are worthy, you are loved, pick a good person.
Yeah.
And I think I picked people. I was engaged to somebody and listen, he was kind of a loser. I remember my dad said to him, like he called my dad to ask if he could propose to me. And my dad said to him, like, I guess, but like, how are you going to contribute to this family?
Yeah.
That was his like I think my parents were more concerned I was going to pick losers than like bad guys. And my parents just wanted me to never be in a position where like I felt unsupported by a partner and I had children with somebody and I was just like on an island alone.
Right.
You know, not bad guys. Like none of my parents have never been like you brought home like an asshole, a terrible person.
Well, because the thing is too, like with again, just like going back to like history and stuff that we've discussed on the show, like marriage only even started at first when the whole thing began, you know, 600-700 years ago, where it was like you married for money to combine families. It was a business proposition. Now this whole thing of marrying for love, that's almost like
totally new concept.
It's like only 200 years old. It's like or even less. It's like that. This is
like
in George Washington's time, you would have a 12-year-old wife. Like that's that was okay. And nobody was like George Washington's a pedophile. You know, they would be like, no, that's just what it is. Like
we die at 25 or whatever. So it's like so
things have changed. But now this whole thing of like love being the main reason why you need to get married to someone. I think love should be a reason why you're with someone, but I don't think everybody needs to get married. If there is a financial component or that is part of a business transaction, a marriage per se. But I think but the whole idea of marriage now has been inflated by TV shows and movies that love is the main thing. And it's like, that's never historically been the main thing for marriage. For relationships, absolutely. But that's why that story as old as time is, you know, some queen is to be wed, you know, Braveheart, you know, the arranged marriage, but she loves the other guy. Like, because the love is but the marriage is the business, the love is what's real. So I want my daughter to go after the love. I don't care if she gets married. Well, it's funny
because like you know, marriage is for love. It's all about like,
I don't care. I want her to be gay, trans, whatever she wants. Honestly, I want her to fucking do everything. Again, same thing. If she wants to be trans, I totally support it. I'm just going to do it first.
Right, exactly. You gotta be the first. You gotta teach her the ways. But I just think it's funny because I have, you know, different views on marriage, a lot of people, and weddings specifically. But
what are they? Can you share them or no?
Yeah. Ashley and I think they're fucking stupid.
Well, listen,
I get it. I think they're kind of stupid too.
We're out here like marriage we don't do this anymore. There are no longer business transactions unless they're arranged, of course. Some cultures, like I want to be respectful to all cultures, but for the most people, Americans are like, it's the romance, it's for love, this is my person, this is my soulmate. Then why do we still have all the antiquated things of your dad gives you away?
Yes.
Why is your dad giving you away?
Yes.
You got to wear all white because you're supposed to be a virgin. Like we still have.
It's like you've been on Pornhub.
Let go of this is a business transaction things in a wedding, and that's why I just
Very good point.
I think they're kind of like, let's talk about what your dad gives you away. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's no good. No, I get it.
I get it. It's still tradition.
It's archaic because it's also like you would get married back in the day because you only really knew the people in your village. Like you knew maybe 100 people. Like in your entire life, even celebrities at that time knew maybe 200 people because you just couldn't get to them. It would take a year to get to the next state. So that's why you're like, okay, I'm just going to marry here. But now when you have access to pretty much all 8 billion people on this planet, for the most part, thanks, shout out Mark Zuckerberg, you could really, it's like, it's very difficult to be like, I'm going to pick just this one person. I get a young person. Like, I don't expect, if whatever she wants to do, I'll support both my kids, whatever they want to do. But it's like, for her to say in 25 years from now, she wants to get married and pick one person, I think that's evolving out. I think that's like a thing that we're still doing and happy to be doing, but it's becoming less and less common.
I think you do a 10-year lease. Like,
there you go.
I just don't see myself getting married. Again, this is like no shade. Like my brothers got married this year, 2021. He had a beautiful wedding. I officiated it. Like I'm here for the old school ways. My parents been married for 45 years, whatever.
45 years?
Yeah, they're like the iconic couple. They're still so in 45. Love. They're great. 40, 45. But I just think like someone could hand me if someone
40.
Yeah, we got it.
Well, we could say 45 for the pod.
We got it, Chris. So I just feel like
2024 coming
someone
back.
could hand me a ring and be like, I'd be like, let's sign some paperwork that we're going to be together for the next 10 years and then we'll reassess.
Yes, absolutely. The person I was dating when I was 23 would never be allowed between my legs today. That is crazy.
Like we evolved.
Wow.
And I changes people.
Yes, we are like, this idea of like this soulmate match, this person you're supposed to find is a brand new concept. It literally wasn't even really around until the 70s. This soulmate match. And like, I don't want to date the same person. Listen, both of our brothers have incredible marriages. My brother's been with his wife for 10 years. It's goals that you could grow in the same direction for 10 years. That's amazing. It's wonderful. But there's nothing wrong with saying I've been with this person for 8 years. I met them when I was 22 and I'm 30 now. And there's nothing in common with me at 30 than I was at 22. I want a different person. I want somebody with a different lifestyle, a different type of job.
And I agree with that. That's why I think for me, like what I was saying, my mindset, I understand some people differ, some people agree, but the children are that's the life thing. That's from the universe. It's like marriage, a human being made up. I don't know who the fuck made up marriage. Some guy, Johnny Marriage, just made up a thing for a business. But the universe, the bond with the sperm meets egg, and you have now created life. That's like rules we don't understand. I don't know where the hell that comes from. That's like a thing that's just like
fairy tale.
Okay, so now I'm connected. Like we cannot get out of this. Is like cosmic goo. We're together now. No matter what we think we are, we aren't. I don't care if I haven't seen you for fucking 40 years. The goo, we're connected. Like my mother. Her father left the family when she was like 5 years old. She had 5 sisters and he walked out and left. When he died, she hadn't seen him in like 35 years. She got like this sickening feeling when he died. Didn't know that he died that day. Only found out years later that he died. She remembers it. Mm-hmm. She was like, I remember being sick to my stomach that day all day. I didn't know. I left work, went to the doctor, and nobody knew how to help me. But I just went away, and it was 'cause her father died that day. So I believe that there's like some thing. I don't know if that science could ever explain it. Maybe Dr. Fauci can. I don't know. but I think that there's like, to me, it's the children are the thing that's like, that's the thing where it's like connected. The marriage is just a piece of paper. I don't really believe in it the way maybe our parents did.
I mean, you guys do a great job co-parenting. You know, I think. Or being together, I don't know what your status is, but you guys clearly provide a stable.
We're both vaccinated.
A loving, but not boosted. Pfizer.
No, I went Moderna.
Not the hot girl shot. Just kidding. Rayna got Moderna.
I got Moderna and I got boosted and I got COVID.
Wait, is Pfizer the hot girl shot?
Yeah, it was. It was the whole
hilarious.
thing.
I am boosted to the ceiling. I got both shots, the booster, and COVID. I got everything.
She's got Botox. She's got Juvederm.
I got filler, fake hair, fake nails, fake teeth. Nothing on me is real.
But I mean, I think that Rayna grew up, her parents got divorced really young, but she still grew up in like, she had a lot of stability and love in the home. I do think there is so much to be said for growing up where your parents are together and you live in the same home under one roof 100%. And there's like a lot of love there. So, you know, it can look different. Yeah. And I think also if you're like, this is what I want, old school marriage, kids forever, do that. I think there needs to be, people need to stop judging people that don't want the traditional marriage, kids life.
And you need to really internally, both people need to truly want that, because the people who just do it because like, this is what I think I'm supposed to be doing, that it's 100% never going to work.
I cannot tell you how many times Ashley and I hear that story of like, I got married because I thought I was supposed to, and like, this is what you do.
We went to a wedding. Jasmine and I went to a wedding of a friend a couple of years ago. And at the wedding, I was telling Jasmine, I was like, there's no fucking way she wants to marry him. I'm telling you, like, I can just tell she does not, there's no, and she's like, no, you're wrong. I'm like, she's doing it for the pomp and circumstance of a wedding. Mm-hmm. She wants the pictures. She wants this.
How long had they been together?
They were together, I want to say maybe 5 years. So the marriage lasted 2 weeks. They fully got divorced. 2 weeks later, the process started.
No.
Because all she subconsciously wanted, it's not him.
After 5 years, yeah.
All she subconsciously wanted was that wedding. She had it. They were sitting on their honeymoon or wherever they were. And she was like, you know what? I can't spend my life with you. We might as well just. And now it's
White Lotus.
Yeah, it's White Lotus. So it's like I knew it from the beginning.
You could feel it
because a lot of people now will get married because they see a hot wedding on Instagram or TikTok. It's like, yo, if you're gonna commit your life to someone that way, you need to be fucking short. Like I am sure, no matter what, I want to be those kids' dads. I am fucking. I would never, even if it meant stopping comedy because they moved to fucking Nevada, I'd be like, I'm moving too then. I don't give a shit. They're my life. Yeah. But marriage is like, it's a harder concept for me because I come from a divorced home, and my view on it, maybe it's negative, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's realistic, is that it's just not going to work in 2021. And people would call me like a fucking 2022 piece of shit. I've said that before, and women have been like, you're a piece of shit. She deserves better than you, and I'm like, I'm just trying to be honest. And you told me to be honest, and you wonder why I lie. And you wonder why.
Well, they're projecting. I feel like they're projecting. That's people projecting because like these children have like stability and love and two great parents. So that's like that's what you need.
100%.
Where can people see you, find you, everything?
Ashley takes us out on every episode. She's got this down.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen to Girls Gotta Eat anywhere you guys listen to podcasts and get tickets. Our website is Girls Gotta Eat Podcast. We are Girls Gotta Eat Podcast on Instagram. I'm Ash Hess. Rayna is Rayna.Greenberg. And we have tickets available in maybe a few, Detroit, St. Louis, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, and Indianapolis, and maybe a few in like LA.
Couple California shows and a couple DC shows. DC will be next up after Texas this week. So.
Beautiful.
Valentine's weekend.
Oh, Valentine's. Well, for Valentine's Day weekend, which is Homeless Pimp's birthday, we're gonna be in DC February 12th. And
what? That's our show.
Wait,
what? DC?
February 12th.
At the Warner Theater?
Yeah.
No,
what?
I'm going to be at the Warner Theater February 12th.
My birthday's the 13th. Maybe the 13th.
Chris, what?
Pull up my schedule. Go to ChristyComedy.com. Go to ChristyComedy.com right now.
This is crazy.
Go. February.
You've got to be on the 13th.
11th. February 11th, I'm at the Warner Theater. You're going to be there February 12th?
No, you're in Atlanta on the 12th. Oh,
I'm in Atlanta on the 12th, but I'm in Washington, D.C. at the Warner Theater the day before you.
That is so funny.
That would have been so fun.
So at the Warner Theater, February 11th for me and 12th.
Do a double header, you guys.
We should do a double heading.
Listen, we love the Tabernacle in Atlanta.
Also, that was my like goal theater, even though it's not the biggest, like
Warner?
the Tabernacle, because I lived in Atlanta forever, and it is like the most iconic place to play. But anyway,
I know, it looks beautiful.
I can't believe we're both going to be there.
Look at us,
one on top of each other.
Yeah. So go see the girls, and then
we're doing two shows, but yeah,
yeah, yeah. I'm not. I'm going to be back at comedy clubs. But where you can support me is, as you know, patreon.com/ChristyComedy. We just put out a great episode with TT Jerry, one of the best we've ever had. The Chris and Eddie Show, where I do an edible and take an edible, aka an Eddie, and do a show, is out now, available for all levels. Patreon.com/ChristyComedy, and then ChristyComedy.com. We got Austin, Texas coming up this weekend, and then Orlando, the Hard Rock. I'm co-headlining with Andrew Dice Clay, and then the next day I'm at the Tampa Theater. So go to ChristyComedy.com for the Chrissy Theaters, everybody, #CTE tour. So thank you guys so much. Thank you to the ladies. Thank you to Homeless Pimp. We love it all. I mean, I think personally, Pimp, I'm gonna say right now that's top 3 best eps of all 50 Chrissy Chaos eps.
I feel it. I
would say top 3.
Definitely.
What did you like about it the most?
The absolute free
opening
flow.
up to us about fatherhood.
Yeah, opening up about fatherhood, talking about all the butt stuff we did. I think that what I loved about it the most is just the free, casual flow of the conversation. Like it was literally like, before you knew what you had, that's all folks sign up. This was more than an hour, this episode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, you guys have been our friends for a long time. We love doing it with you.
It was literally what I think a podcast should be, where it's like, no, not prepared. Like it's literally just people talking and us felt like a conversation we could have had at a bar. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
We loved it.
That's gonna go out to the people. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Homeless Pimp just stood up and he's got a hammer.